everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a full face of, mostly full face, of scented makeup. Now, scented makeup was super popular a few years ago. I think, when Too Faced was kind of at the peak of their, I'm going to lower this just a hair, was at the peak of their popularity. Everything was scented. Is that still a thing? Like, do people care about scented makeup anymore? I think we've kind of started to move away from it. And I have noticed, like, Too Faced is in the process of discontinuing the Peach Perfect stuff. So, I mean, you can still get scented makeup. I just don't, I think, like, the trend is kind of faded out. But you can still get scented things, like Glow Recipe, for one. I'm going to use one of their products. Like, they have scented products. They're fruity. So yeah, is that something people still, like, you guys still use? Do you care about? Some people are very anti-fragrance, which I get. So we're going to do a full face, mostly full face of scented makeup. There's a few things that aren't going to be scented. And then there's a few products in here. Like, I've never tried this foundation. And then I have the powder that goes with it, and I've never used that either, so we're going to use that, and we'll try some stuff out and kind of see if it's worth still buying. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, stick around, make sure you subscribe, and we're going to jump into it. I figured I would get out some skincare. I think I'm going to leave this on my desk. I had this in my bathroom as like a backup because I have a bunch of open skincare in there, but this is a hyaluronic serum, and I felt like it would be fitting for the video. This is the Plump. And I think I'll just leave it on my desk because I probably should be using a serum before I do skincare anyway. It has a pump. I've used like the watermelon moisturizer. I think I have the banana one. It's got a light smell to it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like overly scented like some of their stuff is. I have their watermelon overnight mask that I really like. I have the avocado one too, which doesn't really have a smell. I do like their watermelon stuff. And it's funny because I'm not a big artificial watermelon person. Like, I hate watermelon candy. It's like my least favorite flavor. But their stuff is pretty lightly scented. Like, it's not like how some of Too Faced stuff used to be, where it was super overpowering. As dry as my skin has been, I figured this would be a good, like, I should probably be using this in the morning. I have serums that I use at night, and I don't, for whatever reason, always put a serum on. So this is going to sit on my desk, and I'll try and use that. Forgive me. I don't think I have a cold. I think it's allergies because it's just like my nose has been a little bit runny here and there. It clears up and then it'll come back. My desk, there's a lot of animal hair that collects over here. So I think some of it's the dust and the pet hair. Like, I do dust in here, but you just can't dust enough, honestly, to be on top of it all the time. So it is what it is. I'm gonna leave my tissue over there because I'm sure I haven't taken my allergy pill yet either. So there's that. I'm going to use, I don't have the Glow Recipe one anymore. I used it up and then just never got another one. But this is from Pure Lease. This is a watermelon energizing aqua bomb. It smells like watermelons too. It's lightly scented. I have a small one of the banana souffle. People really like this. I don't dislike it, but this doesn't always play well with some of my primers. I'll get pilling, like where it'll pill up a little bit. And I think it's that because I've used other moisturizers and it doesn't. So I determined that it's the banana moisturizer. And it's one of those things I may not be letting it soak in enough because you really should wait like 10 or 15 minutes from the time you put your skincare on to when you start doing makeup. And I don't do that. I'll throw it on and then immediately go in. So that can cause some like counteraction between products. So try that if you've got products that do that, or like I said, I've said it before, try different combinations because some things just, like, there's certain primers I can't mix together. They just don't play well. And some that I can. Yeah, this is lightly, this smells exactly like the Glow Recipe one. I got this, I think, in an Ipsy, and it's lasted forever. It's still holding on. I usually will go in with 2 moisturizers. The other one that I'm going to use, this is a little travel. I have the full size in my bathroom. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Face Base. The jar is quite large and doesn't fit in my drawer, so I've held on to my little mini, and then I just refill it. I use a spatula and then just will fill it up. And then this is good for travel. So I do own the full size. This has a citrus smell to it. It's very light, but there is a smell to it. I like it. I enjoy it, especially in the morning. I think it's nice. Like I said, it's a light citrusy, and it doesn't like smell weird on top of the watermelon. I like to go in with a light like aqua balm. And if I continue to use the serum in the morning, I may not have to use 2 moisturizers, but this is a pretty thick, like it's not overly thick or greasy, but it's definitely a thicker moisturizer. I think it's worth the money. Bobbi Brown does have sales on their website, and then you can get it through Sephora when they have sales. That's generally what I try to do. I get it when it's on sale, and it lasts a long time. A little bit goes a long way. Like I used the mini, and then I purchased the full size, and I filled this up once. So I barely made a dent in the jar. So this is something like if you buy, I think it's like $65 regular, like it'll last you at least a year, generally. Granted, I have a small face and I don't have to use a ton, but most moisturizers last a long, long time. Like I said, I've had this for over a year and I'm barely like hitting the end of that. But again, it depends on how much you use. We're gonna do, I don't have a scented eye cream per se. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this Time Wise one from Mary Kay. I like Mary Kay's skincare for the most part. I've been an advocate for Mary Kay on my channel because I have, you know, foundation and powder. I have their mineral powder foundation, eye cream, cleanser. The other eye cream that I really like is from Clinique. This is the Moisture Surge. This one's really, really good. Clinique has good skincare. This is like a deluxe, like travel sample or something. This is going to last me forever. Because I have a mini sample of this also, and I've not finished it up either. My mom only uses Clinique, so she will give me like her like free gift bags for like Christmas and stuff, which is where I get these, and then I don't have to buy it because their stuff is not cheap, but it works. It works really well. So I am actually going to pop on my eye patches because I found if I put my eye stuff on and let it hang out under the eye patch for about 5 minutes, my under eyes get really hydrated. So I will come back after that. So this is what it looks like. These have been on for a little while, and these are just the Pixie ones. I've been trying to use these up. I have another jar of a different, oh, that one went on the floor. I want to leave that down there. I have another jar of some different ones that I got in BoxyCharm that are just another brand. I like the jars that have like the 30 or the 60 in it, like 30 pairs. It's just less waste because you're not opening a little packet every single time, and I think they're a better deal when you buy them in bulk. And then they do have reusable ones where you're basically doing what I just did. You put your eye cream on, and then you put the reusable patch and let it hang out for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you can reuse them, which that I think is an awesome. That's how I got the idea of trying this. Because I was like, how are they reusable if there's nothing on them while you're using your own creams? I was like, let me try that and just see if I can get, and I do get extra hydration. It kind of helps lock my eye cream in. So I've been doing that, and then I've actually been using my patches on a regular basis because I'm not consistent with them. For primer, I used to have the Ciate London, the watermelon one, and I think I gave it to my oldest daughter because I don't know where it is. So I'm going to use a little bit of my Urban Decay. This, I mean, I guess kind of has a smell, not, it's got a not necessarily Play-Doh-y smell. It's got kind of a weird fragrance. It's got rose hip oil in it, but to me it's not like super heavily like rose scented, but that could be what I'm smelling, like fake, like flower smell or something. I don't know. It's not a strong odor, but the other, normally I go in with my backup backlight, but I'm going to use my coconut smoothing primer because this does have a smell. Coconut still seems pretty popular because I have like setting sprays that have coconut in them, and so that seems like that is still a popular smell. It seems like people are getting away from like the chocolate and the peach. So this is just, I would say this is the equivalent of like the Becca one. It's a lotiony. It's got a little bit of a like glow to it. It's gonna help kind of blur. It says it's pore, I think it says it's pore filling. I like using the Urban Decay one underneath just because I think that gives me a little bit more pore filling, but you could use the e.l.f. putty primer too. It'll do the same thing, but I really like, this has got argan oil and stuff. So for me, this is a little bit more hydrating than the e.l.f. one, but the e.l.f. putty primer is just as good. I have the illuminating one and the regular one, and they're both good. But yeah, this does have a little bit of a coconut smell. It's by First Aid Beauty. It's not overly scented. It's pretty light, and I feel like it dissipates as soon as it goes on my face. Like I can smell it when I'm right here, and then once I get it, like it's pretty much gone. And then like I didn't take my allergy pill this morning, so my nose is a little bit plugged up, so I can't smell as well. And then I have glitter on me. I tested out, I filmed my haul video right before this and had swatched some like LA Girl, like I wiped it off, but you can see like there's still glitter. So now there's glitter, random glitter flakes on my face because they were on my hands. So that's there. I'm just going to let that hang out for just a second. My skin has been super like dehydrated. I'm not drinking enough water. I'm sure that's what it is. Mike gets after me all the time about drinking water. Okay, so we're going to try this Peach Perfect foundation, and I actually have a little like deluxe mini, and then the other powder I have is the Watermelon Burst from Ciate London. This had a smell when I first got it. I've had this for a while. It's really, really light, like barely any kind of a smell. I had the loose one, and I think do I still have it? Oh, I thought I decluttered it. Nope, she's right here. This is the Everyday Vacay. This is the coconut setting one. I thought it was watermelon. It's coconut. This has a little bit of a smell too. It smells like sunscreen, essentially. I got powder all over me. I don't love this powder. I thought I decluttered it. And she's like super grimy. I need to clean that. This does have a little bit of a scent to it. Not super strong though. But I got this. It's like a free gift or something. I forget what I ordered. Maybe from Too Faced. This is just the loose setting powder. It says it's translucent peach whisper. I've never used this, but they are discontinuing this, but it does have a smell. I figured I could use this on my under eye just because I'm worried this might oxidize a little bit because it is kind of a peachy color. So never tried this. I just never really jumped on. And this is this a matte? Peach Perfect Comfort Matte. Hopefully I'll be able to smell it. Like I said, you can still get these on Amazon. The ones that are left on Too Faced are going for $24. On Amazon, I think this was $21, so it was a little bit cheaper, but it's just tricky trying to find a shade. I talked about this in my haul video because most of the companies that are selling these are, I don't know who, and they didn't have swatches. So I had to go to Google and look up swatches. And then like the swatches for the peach line, like the names of the peach foundations are different than their normal, like, what is this concealer called? The Born This Way line. Like I'm in Shortbread. Like Shortbread, I have the concealer, but this is my foundation shade. So Shortbread is a shade in the Born This Way line, but that's not a shade in the peach line. So then I had to figure out. So I ended up getting Snow. because it was like, okay, I think I could use these 2 or 3 shades. What's available? I'm going to go wet a sponge because I think that'll be better, and I will be right. I'm going to use my Sigma HD sponge. I like their sponges. It's just a little bit different shape from a beauty blender, but I've repurchased. This is a newer one. I think I had a red one before. But yeah, you can still get this. You can still get the Tutti Frutti foundation. Never tried that either. That was not super popular. Yeah, if you want to get the peach foundation, you can still pick it up before. The Born This Way seems to stay. I don't know. I think that'll be all right. I don't know. This might be a hair light. We'll see when I... Like, it does have a peach smell. Like, I've never used this. Might be a hair light for me, but I think we could make it work. It was hard. I spent good maybe 10, 15 minutes going back and forth because I was like, oh, I'm in shortbread. Like, yeah, I know that. And I was like, that's not a shade in the peach line. And I had to find like the correct swatches for the, because if you go like peach perfect foundation swatches, it brings up all of their swatches. Like I said, the shade names for the peach line and the Born This Way line are different, which that kind of annoys me. Like within the same brand, like just have like that, like a shortbread shade, like just across the board. That way people know, like, okay, because Tarte does that. Their shade names are the same, like within all of their foundations. So like, I know I'm light sand. I used to be light medium. I'm like light sand. So I know like pretty close, like that shade will work for me. It's probably like a hair dark for me now, but it's one of those, like, I know I can make light sand work. And they have that. And the concealers, all that. Why do we need to have different names here with all the like, that's just, because then, like I said, I spent forever trying to figure out a shade, and then like on Amazon they're not in any kind of an order, so that, yeah, it was a little bit. So this might be a hair light, but it's not bad. The problem I was running into is some of the undertones of these were on the pink, like they all looked pink, and I have more of a yellow undertone, so I was worried like going up a shade was gonna look funny. I contour and bronze, so I think, yeah, like I said, this is probably a hair light for me. I also have like studio lights, but this I think is fine. At this point, too light, a little light is probably better than being too dark, because all of my foundations are too dark. I had to buy the LA Girl white mix in medium because all of my Tarte foundations are, because I used to be light medium sand and now I'm like light sand, and everything's just, I said, this used to be a good concealer shade for me, and now this is my, like, I can wear this as foundation in shortbread. So I can thank the like state of the world in the last 2 years. I just don't go outside as much, so my skin tone has dropped a lot. Much fairer than I used to be. Okay, I don't think that's bad. I have garbage in my chair behind me, so the cats. So if you hear rustling, I apologize. I'm not going to fight with him. Concealer. I don't have a scented concealer. You can still get the peach concealer on Too Faced website. They had some shades. It's a pot concealer. I just didn't think it was necessary. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of my corrector, just my normal Pixie corrector. This is in, what are you called? Brightening Peach. The Becca one is still available under, is it Cover Effects that absorbed Becca? They're under eye corrector, and their highlighters, and then a couple of their other products were absorbed. So you can still get Becca's under eye brightener. Their one, I think, is a little bit creamier than Pixie's. Pixie's, I think I've heard, is a little bit drier. I've never tried Becca's because I had this and I could never justify having both. And then this one's easier to get a hold of. It's at the drugstore. So But I am going to use a new concealer. I did get the Tarte Creaseless. This was recommended by a couple people that I watch for dry skin, because there's the regular Shape Tape, which is good for oily. The creamy, I've heard is good for like normal to combo. And then this was recommended for dry. So we're going to try this. I do have the regular Shape Tape, and I can make it work if I hydrate. This is very sticky. I've heard this is comparable to the Bye Bye Under Eye, and I don't know that I would use this on the rest of my face per se, but yeah, I heard this one was good for dry skin, because I was gonna try the creamy, the Shape Tape creamy, and I was watching I think Emily Noel's talked about this, and then also Coffee Break with Danny kind of went through the Tarte different Tarte concealers. So, and I trust both of their they do pretty honest reviews, so I got this one instead of the creamy, but I figured I would just try this because it's new. But it is very sticky. I never used the Bye Bye Under Eye. I don't think I had a sample of it at one point, and I don't remember if I ever used it. I'm going to go in and set this right away because it is so sticky. Yeah, this has just got a this watermelon one just has a very light scent. Like I wasn't crazy about the Vacay powder. I thought I decluttered it. I still have it. It's in there. And then I'm going to go and I'll do a little bit more concealer on the rest of my face. But as sticky as this is, I figured it blended out pretty good. I think it covered decently. For the rest of my face, I got other things in here. I think I'm just going to use my Maybelline one, just because I'm just going to put a little bit around here. I don't need a ton. Animal hair. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, and I like to set kind of my skincare a little bit with this, and then I'm gonna go over it. We'll try the peach powder. So yeah, like I was saying, I was thinking about, because I watched an old video of Emily Noel's where she did all scented makeup, and it was from like 2 years ago. And I was thinking, I was like, is that still a thing? I figured I would open this because I need a new pressed powder, just random tangent. But yeah, I was like, is this still a thing? Because like, I remember when Too Faced was kind of at their height of popularity, scented makeup was all the rage. I feel like we've kind of gotten away from it a little bit. So I did my T-zone. I'm actually gonna I'll powder contour because I have a scented. This is open. I wonder if it doesn't have a super strong smell. I don't know how long ago I opened this. I think I opened it to use it. And I don't think I've ever used this on my face. If I did, I don't remember actually trying this. I know there's a couple people I watch that actually like this powder and are kind of sad that it's going away. Like I said, they're just in the process of phasing it out. I think people are over at least the peach, heavily scented peach products. I think that's why I got this as like a free, maybe with a holiday set or something that I ordered from Too Faced. This was like a bonus. So it's a little bit older, which may be why the smell's not, there's like a slight fragrance. You'll have to tell me if this was like super heavily fragranced, like when it was brand new. Like I said, mine's older. I don't know how long that's been open. I will say with the scented powders, once you open them, because Pacifica makes a cherry scented powder. Once they've been opened, the smell starts to dissipate, whereas obviously something in a tube that's sealed, the smell's gonna retain much longer. The eyeshadows tend to hold their smell, but for some reason I've noticed with powders, and it could be because there's just less. But that's not bad. I was worried it was gonna oxidize because I've had that happen under my eyes. It just starts to get dark. even if it's translucent. So this didn't oxidize, but like I say, I can't, my nose is a little bit plugged. I forgot my allergy pill. I needed to open a new, yeah, I think I said that. I needed to open a new press powder, so squeeze that in there. My powder section is maxed out. I'm not used to wearing foundation. I feel like that looks super heavy. We're gonna use, what do I have? I have the Everyday Vacay spray, which has a coconut smell. And I do have the watermelon, which does have a little bit of a scent. It starts to get milky looking after you've had it for a while. It doesn't seem to have turned. I don't necessarily like how that's looking around my nose, but some of it could be the sponge. I just feel like I look super powdery and cakey. I feel like that looks a little bit better. So I'm gonna use the watermelon one. And then the other scented one, I've got a couple, like the Laura Geller Speckle Mist has coconut in it. Prime Set Refresh, we'll put a little of this on too. Real light coconut smell, not bad. Definitely takes the powder. And then Smashbox, I don't know if they still make these. This is a primer water. This is, I have the Serene Green, which smells like fresh cut grass, but they had other scents in this. I don't know if these are still a thing. Mine's old. I've had this for a while, but yeah, if these have smell to it. And then I know Wet n Wild put out a couple of sprays that were scented. I don't mind the setting sprays. There's an indie brand. I forget what they're called. They do like a pumpkin spice setting spray. They're really small bottles, but they smell really good. I'm trying to think what the brand is called. Apocalyptic Beauty does like a pumpkin spice, like scented chai spray and some others. But again, they're like $9 a piece, but you get like a small bottle. So we'll use the Vacay spray at the end here because it's scented. I'm gonna do my brows off camera, and then I didn't have any scented brow products, and I just did my normal routine. I feel like that's kind of boring to watch anyway, so just threw that on. So let's get into contour. I have my Cocoa Contour palette from Too Faced, so we'll use that. And then for bronzer, I've got some options because I have 3 different ones and they're all scented. I have the Chocolate Gold, I have the Unicorn Tears, which smells like fruit punch, and then I have the Pineapple Sun one. Those are all individual. And then going into, where's my face palette drawer? I've got the Sugar Peach face palette, eye and face palette. So this has a bronzer, so maybe we'll use the one out of here because I'm going to use the blush and highlight probably from this palette. It's a little more intense than the one that is in my Sweet Peach Glow, but these are all like scented. This is a little lighter scented and lighter color like payoff than the Sugar Peach one, but the Peach Glow does show up on my skin. There was some controversy with that one. Some people's, like, they got bad ones or something, but mine shows up. I got it on Poshmark, so it was lightly used, but I've never had an issue. This still smells like chocolate. It's lightly scented. It's not bad. I generally will go into the light and the medium contour with this. And then there is like a banana powder up here. I don't generally use those, but because I forget about them. But I do like the contour shades. This was something that came in, I think, the Boxy Luxe or the Premium. I don't remember. But I was super excited about it because this was a palette that I had wanted, but I knew I was only going to use a couple of the shades, so I couldn't justify spending the like $45 or $50 price tag. But it's nice. And then there is a deep, like if you want to, sometimes I'll go in a little bit towards the back with the deep shade just to darken it up a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I do like heavy, just because my foundation being on the lighter side, bronzing helps. Let me find my nose contour brush. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay, I moved some stuff around and then I couldn't. Now I can't find things. But yeah, they are chocolate scented, but it's light. It's not overpowering, and you can't smell it once it's out of the palette. I can't anyway. Under normal circumstances. I know I can't smell real great right now, but that is a good palette. The other one that I have, I think Tarte discontinued this. This has kind of a like a vanilla smell, the Park Avenue Princess, and I don't know why they got rid, like, that's a good palette. And like I said, that's scented too. It's got a light. Most Tarte stuff is vanilla scented, which is really light. But, so if you're not big, because sometimes Too Faced stuff can be a little strong, definitely go Tarte's route because their stuff's lighter. Has a lighter fragrance. So we're going to go in... What is the bronzer shade? Peach Honey. And it's very like metallic-y and shimmery. So if you don't like a shimmery bronzer, maybe don't put this on your face. But I like to use a matte bronzer or contour to contour. And then I like to go in and blend it out with something shimmery. I feel like it gives me more of a sun-kissed glow. It's a tip that I learned in a pro makeup class. So you definitely don't have to do it that way. If you don't like shimmer, you can go in with a true contour shade. Like the shades in the Too Faced palette are true contour. They're cool toned. And then just go in with the matte bronzer. Like the chocolate gold has maybe a touch of, it translates as more of a satin. It's not like a glittery, maybe we'll throw a little bit of that up there too. It's not a glittery, like this, the one in the peach palette has definitely got a metallic sheen. This one just translates as a satin, so. And then the regular Chocolate Soleil I have also, and that's a really good, just matte bronzer. So don't feel like you have to do the shimmer. I like shimmer, so I do it that way. Peach Pearl is the highlight in here, so I do my highlight before blush if you've never watched my channel, just because I feel like it blends into the blush a little better, because it's hard. Like, I hate that where it's like a strip on top. People went through a phase, I think, when contouring started to get popular, because contour wasn't a thing for the average person for a long time, and neither was highlighter. They wanted Neapolitan, you had to, and it's not. Things are all supposed to kind of melt together and blend, so you don't necessarily want a strip of highlight per se on your face. I mean, you can, you want to do that, you totally can. Then there's Peach Pop, which is kind of a pinky. This can be used as a highlighter, I think, on deeper skin tones. On my transparent little self, it's a shimmery blush, super shimmery, you almost don't even need to do highlighter with it, but it's pretty. I might go over it a little bit with the peach blush out of the other palette just for some extra color, just because it's pretty light. This is a light, and then I'll take blush up chin, nose. Where is that other palette? Just to add a little bit more color. Yeah, I got lucky with this. Like I said, this palette shows up on me because I'm so fair. I know that was an issue. It is a light palette, so it's not going to work on medium or deep skin tones. And then it may have been a case where there was bad ones too. I mean, that happens. So it's natural, but it's super, the Peach Pop, all of these are shimmery. So even this one that's got glitter infused, you're going to have sparkle with this. So if you don't like shimmer, this palette is probably not going to be for you, but, and it's very peach ring scented. It's stronger than the other peach palette, which does not bother me, but it's pretty. And you can use them as eyeshadows too. I've never tried that, but you do have the ability. So I'm going to set with this. Super sunscreen smells. If you don't like coconut, stay away from the Vacay line from Ciate because it's all coconut scented. It's not bad. It smells like sunscreen, which you're either gonna like that smell or you're not, I feel like. But okay, for eyeshadow, I didn't necessarily have one. I have lots of scented eyeshadows. I've got a few from Tarte. They're all vanilla scented. Like I said, most things from Tarte, most powder products from Tarte have a vanilla smell. I've got quite a bit from Too Faced. Gingerbread, pumpkin spice. I have the original chocolate bar palette. I feel like doing a neutral look. Gingerbread spice I leave out because it's my favorite. Maybe we'll just use gingerbread spice. This doesn't really have much of a smell. Maybe a little bit vanilla, but like the did I just stick my finger in there? I think I did. Like the birthday palette is handy too. This has like a birthday cake vanilla smell. Mine still smells a little bit. So the palettes will smell for a while, but I don't think any, like the peach palette may have been one of the strongest ones if memory serves, but mine's old. So mine doesn't even smell that much. So the smell does dissipate, and it's one of those, once you get it on your eyes, you're not gonna smell it. So if fragrance bothers you, just keep that in mind because you are going to be able to smell some of them. The gingerbread one, I don't think I ever noted. Like it was always lightly scented. I really had to stick my face in there to even smell it. It's not one of their stronger ones, but like the chocolate bar one too, you got to kind of have it right up near your face. I felt like the unicorn one that's like Tutti Frutti scented, I think was one of their stronger smelling ones. Like that one mine still smells, and that's another one that's older. Like I can smell it when it's sitting on my desk. But again, once you get it on the brush, the smell doesn't transfer. So you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt if you want scented or not. And then, like I said, Tarte's palettes have a slight vanilla scent, so it's very, very subtle, very, very light. So if you want a little bit of smell, but not necessarily overpowering smell, that's like an alternative. Like they have a good eyeshadow formula. It's very like beginner, user-friendly formula. I have several of their palettes still. My mirror's in the way. I'm just going to go in with my small tapered blending brush, and then I don't know, maybe the shade Gingerbread up here. I think I'm going to go into Gingerbread, and then maybe a little bit of Looky at My Cookie. It's like a peachy shade. I don't know how I'm going to take this look. I don't know yet. Gingerbread's kind of just a neutrally warm brown. This palette's like out on the cart. I think my other chocolate bar palettes are in one of the drawers. I need to reorganize all of my makeup. Like not all of my makeup. I need to reorganize my palettes because like my ABH ones are together on the top, but like my chocolate bar palettes are not all together currently, and I have to hunt around for them because I can't ever remember where I put them, because I wanted to use my pumpkin spice palette again. I think I got a bad one because there's a couple of shades in mine that are dry, because some people really, really love that palette, and I just don't love mine, and it makes me sad, and I kind of think I got a bad one. I got mine from QVC when it first hit. Like I got mine early because QVC got theirs before Ulta. So I wonder if mine was just, and then the lid on mine broke, like it was a whole thing. So Looky at My Cookie is like a pinky peachy shade. Just want to do an easy neutral eye. So yeah, there's lots of options with like scented eyeshadow still. I know Makeup Revolution has a pumpkin spice palette, but you'll have to let me know if theirs was actually scented. I've never tried the ones that like look like the avocado or the popcorn, like the I Heart Revolution side of Makeup Revolution. I've never tried those palettes, so you'll have to let me know if they're actually scented and if they're any good. I've heard some of the face, like the blush and highlight duos in their little chocolate bar packaging are actually pretty decent, but you'll have to let me know if like the popcorn palette smells. I'm sure it may say in the description. I've never looked on Ulta at them that close. The reviews I've seen on those palettes are very like hit and miss, so I think that may be why I've never tried them, because not 100% that they're, might use a little bit of gumdrop. Let me go in with Figgy Pudding. It's a lighter like purpley shade. I don't know what I want to do out here in the outer corner. This is a very warm palette, but you can get a very pinky look with it. Generally I use gumdrop, which is like the magenta shade in here, and do primarily pinky looks. So you're not going to necessarily get fire warm brown. You can, because there's, what is it? Spice is nice as kind of an orangey shade. So you can definitely take it warmer, but you have the ability to go like purple, straight purple. Because if you do gumdrop and fig pudding together, you're going to get more purpley. But you can definitely get some pretty, like, every time I've done like the pinky look with gumdrop, I always get compliments on that when I've done it. So I think I might just do this because I want to keep this kind of neutrally. I have an appointment at Social Security, so I don't necessarily need this makeup to look loud, if that makes sense. And then I think I'm just going to take a little bit more of that peachy shade just to kind of blend this out. I'm just trying to do an easy look with not anything complicated, not reinventing the wheel here today. Sometimes I try to, but today's going to be, where's that flat brush? Today's just going to be easy. I'm going to do the NYX glitter glue. I still need to buy a new one of these. It's one of those things that's kind of expensive for glitter glue. Like, it's cheaper than high-end glitter glue. I want to say theirs is like 12 or something, but considering mine's technically not bad, I'm just like, oh, do I want to spend that? Like, because $12 I can get other stuff, and I'm like, so I still have not repurchased my NYX glitter glue, but I'm going to go in with Spiced Eggnog. It's kind of a champagne-y color. People didn't like, what is it, Frostbite Me. It's kind of a chunky white. I like that shade. I use it with gumdrop, but I use a glitter glue. Like, it's flaky and chunky, so I've never tried to use that on its own with just a regular eye primer. I always go in with a glitter glue, so that may be why I've not had issues with it. I've seen a lot of reviews on this palette. People hate that shade because it is chunky and flaky, but if you give it something to stick to, it's not going to come off. I've never had an issue with it falling off on me during the day. I've heard people complain that it can, because it is so flaky, but I think if you put a sticky base down, it's not going to do it. Most people don't use glitter glue, I've noticed. They'll just use regular eye primer, which is fine, but you're going to get a different, I'm just going back and forth between Figgy Pudding and Spiced Eggnog. Kind of blend those, and then there's Burn is kind of purpley, or there's Hot Toddy. I do like Hot Toddy. Maybe we'll use Hot Toddy's kind of a duochrome shade. Maybe it's a little pinky. Maybe we'll put a little bit of that in there. But yeah, so if you have this palette and you have issues with Frostbite Me, try a glitter glue or like a sticky concealer. If you don't use glue, if you're not a glitter glue user, try a sticky concealer, because if you give it something to stick to, like I said, I don't have flaking issues with it. And I like that shade. It's pretty. You can see it is chunky, but it looks pretty when it's on the eye. But like I said, you got to give it something to adhere to because it will just fall off your face. It's chunky, but yeah. So I was kind of sad when I heard, and I'll use it under the brow bone. I'll put a little bit on my little flat brush and show you. I don't know. I've never had issues with it, but like I said, I use it a little bit differently. So that could be, I'm a pretty much use glitter glue if you watch my channel for every shimmer, just because I feel like it gives me a little more punch and it really helps lock them in. So that could be why. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of Sugar Daddy, which is the light pink, just to kind of help blend that up into that. But yeah, so if you have issues and you don't like that shade, yeah, try something sticky. And because it is very, very pretty all over the lid with like gumdrop in the crease, and then using reindeer paws in the outer corner. Very, very pretty, like easy look. And like I said, I always get compliments on it. It's just pretty. So, and if you have this palette and you don't like that shade, I suggest doing that. So I don't know what I'm going to do on the bottom here. Maybe a little bit of Fig Pudding, which is the purple that we used. And then I'll probably just put a little bit of Hot Toddy on it for some shimmer. Or I have Ooh Burn, which is a shimmery purple. Maybe we'll do Hot Toddy. It's a little lighter. I don't necessarily want to go super dark today. The Ooh Burn shade, I think, would make the under eye a little bit darker. So I just did the purple, and then I put Hot Toddy on top, and then just blended. I like shimmer on the lower lash line just because I like shimmer, and then my eyes tend to run sometimes. Shimmer, because it can be wetted, tends to take better to that. So that's the other reason that I've started, if you're new, doing shimmer on the bottom. And I'm going to do a little bit of Frostbite on the inner corner. Like I said, it's pretty. I was always kind of sad. I'm always sad, a little bit sad every time I hear people talk about the palette and they're like, I hate this shade. I'm like, but you can make it work. It's pretty. Like I said, it is pretty all over the lid, but you got to give it something to stick to. Oh, I was wondering where I found, this is a complete side note. I've been looking for this metal straw. Apparently my cat knocked it out of the cup, and it's one of those things you hear bang in the middle of the night and you don't look. Okay, so I don't know if I'm even going to do liner. I have to think here. Let's see. I'm going to do something in the waterline. I don't know what, though. Let's see. What do I have here? Too many liners. I think I'm going to use this from Pixie. This is kind of a taupey color. I don't know, what is this called? Matte Mulberry. We'll use that one. It's kind of a neutrally mauve-y taupe. Pixie has some really nice, like their eyeliners are creamy and they're pigmented. I haven't had to sharpen any of them yet because I hate that they've gone to these like plastic and like have a wooden pencil or just be retractable, because I hate these like plasticky ones that they've gone to, because everybody was like, I don't want a wooden pencil anymore. I don't know if it was a cost thing, like these are cheaper. I haven't looked into it that much, but wooden pencils sharpen really well. Like they've been around forever. These plastic ones end up getting tore up. They don't sharpen well. Like it's just, I don't understand for the life of me why they've gone to those, because they're awful. Like ColourPop started that and everybody jumped on board, and I just cannot stand it. I'm going to use maybe a little bit of liner. This was on top. This is from Tarte. This is the Precision Longwear. I don't think I'm going to do a wing. I'm just going to do a little bit on top. I'm going to finish my liner. I'll put mascara on and maybe one of my like more natural lashes. Use my Milk Kush mascara, and then I just use, these are not my most natural. These are the light volume Allure. This box was already open. I was too lazy to open. These are my natural ones. I was too lazy to open the box. So these are already open. I just threw these on. For lips, there's a ton of scented lip options out in the world. You can do scented lip balms, which I have a few, like even NARS, their Orgasm. These have kind of a smell to them. It's not intense by any means. Lip oils, like this one from Item, which is Addison Rae's brand's got like a mango-y smell. Even the ones from ColourPop, their lip oils have a little bit of a vanilla scent to them. And then I've got these tinted ones, like even the ones from Milk theirs have a little bit of an herbally smell to them. So you can go that route if you want a scented lip product. And then Too Faced, obviously, all of their liquid lipsticks have smells. Can I get to some easily? Let's see which drawer. I got stuff in the way. Like, I have their holiday ones. Like the sugar cookie one smells like sugar cookie. This was their set from 2 years ago. And then I have the ones from the year before. Peppermint smells like, what one is this called? Candy cane smells like candy cane. So I like that. And then the packaging on their holiday ones are always like cute, like carameled apple and hot toddy. The melted mattes have like a fruity smell to them. These are nice. They're not long wearing, but they have, you know, like a basic fruit smell. And then I can't remember. One of the ones I wear a lot, oh, this is not Queen Bee. Where's Queen Bee? Is this Queen Bee? Is Queen Bee. And it's just kind of got a basic, like, vanilla smell to it. The other one, Mike bought me this one because it's called Unicorn. It's a purple. Yeah, just basic. Just a basic vanilla scent. But then they'll come out with, like, their holiday, like, gingerbread. This is Gingerbread Girl. It's a little different than Gingerbread Boy. It's a little more on the orangey side. This one smells like a cookie. Not necessarily gingerbread cookie. Pillow Talk is a metallic. I have to smell them because, again, straight like vanilla frosting smell. It's been a while since I've smelled these. And then Pumpkin Pie, Pumpkin Spice. I have the full size. I got this one 2 years ago with the palette. Has a pumpkin spice smell. So, just keep an eye out. They have come out with like cocoa ones that smell like chocolate. So if you buy something from Too Faced, just be aware there's a chance it could be scented. And just look at the disclaimers maybe, or go in the store. Like, they are starting to let people like test things. I've noticed a little bit in some makeup stores, so you can go in and smell it. Because the ones from Too Faced, like the pumpkin pie and the gingerbread, like the holiday ones, are a little bit stronger than their regular, and the smell on those will linger a little bit, but it does go away eventually. Like, it's not there all day. I'll use Sugar Cookie just because I think I have to put a mask on when I go to Social Security. And then this will dry down completely, so it won't transfer. Sugar Cookie is, if it comes out again at a holiday, is a nice nude that's worth grabbing. I like their holiday liquid mattes. Like, I had this set from 2 years ago because last year they did a lip gloss set. I didn't buy that because I'm not a big. And then I have the liquid set from 3 years ago, and they're still good. They still smell nice. I like the cutesy packaging. I like buying these minis. I've talked about it before because I had to go through and throw away a couple of Too Faced ones and like half of my Jeffree Star lipsticks because they expired and they smelled. But like Sugar Pill puts a little bit of fragrance in their lipsticks. Jeffree Stars, I think, have a little bit. I'm trying to look. Like Laura Lee's. Generally, most liquid lipsticks will have a vanilla smell, if nothing else. Not all. I think the Maybelline ones don't. Oh, let me grab one and check for you just in case, because I know people don't always like, I can get a hold of one. I've got too much stuff. But even Tarte's, again, Tarte's liquid lipsticks smell like vanilla. This is a Maybelline like matte ink. Yeah, theirs have a little bit of a smell too. So yeah, just be aware, most liquid lipsticks have a fragrance. I think CoverGirl came out with a clean line. I don't think that stuff is fragranted. I don't know if they have liquid lipsticks in that line, but I know like their tinted balm in that line has no smell. So yeah, just be aware. There is going to be fragrance in a lot of things, but it's not overly strong, and it's not something that I mind anymore. Let me know how you feel. Like, this is new. I got this in my haul. This is the Pumpkin Spice Fruit Fetish from Alani. This came out last season. It was sold out, so when I did my recent order, I added this. But I like smells and things. It's a little bit nostalgic for me. I was a Lip Smackers wearer, so I like the scented lipsticks, especially during the holidays. Like if I'm going to wear candy cane, I like that it smells like candy canes. I don't know. Not everybody wants things to smell. So let me know, do you still use scented makeup? Is that still a thing? I feel like the trend is kind of going, like, has come and gone. Like I said, the liquid lipstick, because even liquid lipsticks are kind of going away, but most lip glosses have a cupcake smell to them also, I've noticed, or fruit, some sort of fruit smell. So like scented things are not completely going away, but like full complexion smelling products, I think their time is kind of come and gone. So let me know if it's still something that you use. Like I said, there's a couple YouTubers that I watch that like the Peach Perfect powder, and that's going away. So let me know. I'm curious. I was curious about this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too rambly. Hopefully you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you in another video very soon. So I was able to declutter for, like I said, we got the Mary Kay, the Becca one. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it because it's old, and they said it's way thick. And this like doesn't even exist anymore. The Revlon Color Stay, just because it's old. And I honestly like having, like, this is way more foundations than I need, like actual liquid foundations. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a lot for anyone. And I generally don't wear foundation. I wear a tinted moisturizer. So I'm glad that I was able to get rid of some. It's one of those, like, I hate getting rid of stuff like that, but if I'm not using it, it's starting to get old, I need to just let it go. Like this, it says it's not expired unless I'm reading that date wrong. It says 18 months, but if this, I'll keep using this until this turns, just because I do like this BB cream from Pure Lace. It's kind of expensive, which is probably why I've never repurchased it. Shade medium is a hair dark. I am able to make this work because it is a BB cream, but if I were to repurchase this, I would get it in light next time. But yeah, this should hopefully be better, and I am glad. I should probably reach for more of my foundations now that I got that mix in medium, because I think that was part of it, is I stopped using them. I didn't really like the full coverage look, and then them being too dark, it was just like a hassle. So now that I can make them lighter, I used to use that Revolution foundation because that's pretty light, but it doesn't smell good, so we're gonna let that go. So yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a short video, but again, it needed to be done because I could not shut this drawer. So that was a problem. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye, everybody.